Death is the only way out. Deathtrap Dungeon is a medieval action game from 1998 released on the PlayStation and Microsoft Windows, developed by Asylum Studios and published by Eidos. It's about time I got around to covering this. I talked about this way back in my Witchhaven video. Oh, we will get to Deathtrap Dungeon someday.
My butt smells and I like to smell my own butt.
Wait, that's how I sound? Don't remember saying that. Timestamps are listed below if you want to skip straight to the conclusion or the game itself, or maybe to my social media links. Here's a spoiler. Development of Deathtrap begins with Ian Livingstone, the man who co-founded Games Workshop and is cited as bringing D&D to the UK. A decade after making miniature painted war dudes popular, Livingstone also dipped into video games, writing the story of the adventure game Eureka for Domark, the Danish company who would later merge into Eidos. The title Deathtrap Dungeon comes from his fantasy gamebook series, which began with the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. The plot is as simple as it gets. A mad rich baron annually challenges the best of the best around the lands to a trial in his handcrafted magical labyrinth, named the titular Deathtrap Dungeon. Survive the multiple and varied floors of creative death and slay the dragon, and the winner gets wealth beyond their wildest imagination. Fast forward to 1996 and the first announcement of the game at E3, the second E3 ever, showcasing the big console wars of the PS1 against the Sega Saturn. 3D gaming was all the rage, and the N64 was finally announced properly. DDs? Probably we'll stop calling it that. First screenshots showed a blonde protagonist instead of what would be the final male hero, Chaindog. You can also play as Red Lotus, the red-haired heroine who, despite wearing essentially a leather thong in the final game, originally wore an even racier outfit. Creator Livingstone said she was based on all the girls who caught his eye in the last 20 years. Cool. So Asylum Studios, the in-house dev studio of Eidos based in London, went on to create just Deathtrap Dungeon. Livingstone, along with GameStop Workshop designers and even fantasy authors Jamie Thompson and Richard Hallowell of Warhammer fame, all worked here behind the scenes. And despite the low polygon graphics, that atmosphere and artistic vision shines through, as you will see. In fact, one of the big inspirations were the ruin drawings by Giovanni Battista Piranesi. Double D? No. Ended up on 2 platforms and 2 different versions in the end. I'm playing the PC version, of course, which has different loot, enemy placement, secret areas, though the PlayStation actually ended up with more attack moves, despite being more limited and shorter overall. The graphics engine, despite looking so similar to Eidos' other huge title at the time, Tomb Raider, is actually different, built entirely separately. Still, inevitable comparisons were made. Same studio, lead sexy ladies. Hello! And for better or worse, they control eerily similar. Deathtrap Dungeon even previewed alongside Tomb Raider, but sat through years of delays on the sideline, while Lara Croft ruled the gaming world. This also means that by the time it hit shelves, Deathtrap was graphically a little dated. The same year as Half-Life, Ocarina of Time, you know, just one of the greatest years in gaming's ever. Tomb Raider was already on its 3rd entry.
I hope you'll take good care of me when you play Tomb Raider 3.
So, April of 1998, Deathtrap Dungeon released alongside StarCraft, Warhammer Dark Omen, Reboot, and Die by the Sword. Ooh. Nearly 30 years later now, yikes. How does the game hold up? Grab your leather leotard we all have, set your vision to old school polygons, and let's brave the labyrinth of the Mad Baron in Deathtrap Dungeon. This is the Steam version. To get this running as best I could, I advised getting the N-Glide wrapper. Apply roughly these settings and then turn on cinematic mode in the main menu, which makes the camera a little more tolerable. Make no mistake, this is going to be a wobbly, awkward camera adventure, all beginning in the cozy main menu. We can go to the game settings and check out the little less cozy here.
Red Lotus, Red Lotus.
Off we go, choice of the 2 heroes, and you know I'm going with Red Lotus. Sorry Chaindog, I believe you are the slower and harder hitting of the 2, but you're just too bland. Instantly, as we head off into the starting spire section, 2 things are very clear. Well, clear is not the best word. Firstly, the camera wobbles a lot. This is the best I can get it, sadly. If you have to, maybe sit back a bit. Secondly, these controls. It's just like Tomb Raider classic tank settings here. It got easier to me as I played on, but I am mouse and keyboarding it. Anywho, up here, what are these guys? Is there a bestiary I can consult? Aha, perfect. I'll link it below. Definitely recommend it if you're playing through. Imps. These petite blue chaps are full of whimsy. Instantly love them.
Look at my back.
They die very quickly too. Too early to really go into the combat, so instead let's grab a spell I may or may not ever use and delve into the first trap room. The first of oh so many. First person view, can't move in view, but this is essential for seeing what's in store as you turn corners or blind spots. The camera won't be our friend a lot. Ow, ow. Well, at least I get to show the damage reflected upon poor Lotus here as our HP drops. Later you will even see flung objects just jutting out. The PlayStation version does not have this. Wolfenstein rules here as well. Hug walls and spam E to find secrets and supplies, which will be essential later. Health potions obviously, but also weapons, cures and antidotes, even wards. Floating skulls are our save points, always a welcome sight. I know that noise so well, that's definitely in WoW. Manual saves, and annoyingly you won't automatically spawn back here upon death. You have to main menu it. Keys. Yup, it's all very basic game mechanics, isn't it? Not exactly feeling like cutting edge Millennium gaming. Not necessarily a bad thing, just basic. The first room with a challenge, tons of switches, walls adorned with flamers, seesawing impy boys, flinging blades at us, in case you didn't know. Oh, you've scarred my beauty, you fuck. Trial and error, luck everywhere. What in God's name is that? Oh, that happened so quickly. Another fun room with some orcs. Areas to squish and get squished. That is about it for the spire. First section down. Send in the clowns. Literally. And straight away we have what I thought were Nagas, but these are snake ladies, and they take quite a few hits. I need some upgrades. Or maybe to figure out these spells. Will I ever? Maybe. I did ask, and now we have a venom sword. And inventory finally. Different sections, press F1 to F4 to showcase. F1 is our melee. F2 I'll leave as a surprise. F3 is spells, and potions, wards, heals are all F4. The venom sword is so much better. Comes with its own unsheathing sound, but it's not just simple upgrades. You'll need to pair the best equipment against the specific enemy. Against fleshy types, venom does well.
Help me! Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
Alrighty then. Yeah, hard to ignore the dismemberment. It's not quite as intricate as what Rune or certainly Soldier of Fortune would showcase soon, but every bit of enemies here will splatter and splurge off blood dripping everywhere. It's dumb, but it never gets boring. Always good to explore for secrets, scout ahead. Yeah, I got some good dino intel there. Who uses a boot? Why a boot? He one-shot me. Maybe I shouldn't dilly-dally admiring enemy design too much. It is so good though.
So I says to her, I says, "Oh, what did you say?"
No. Dead ends will be very common and very frustrating. Alright, let's go into the combat then. Firstly, I know this must be better on a controller, but if I can mouse and keyboard I will. Just how I am. To attack you hold down a direction from WASD, then moving your mouse will do the attack. I don't mean clicking, I mean literally moving. There is a timing to it because I occasionally do combos. I can't complain, I know a controller will be better, but I'm never going to get good at this, just enough to get the job done. Pressing Z gives us a nice little sexy walk. I'm picking up coins, maybe for merchants. Might need that because every weapon other than our bog standard sword degrades with use and now venom is gone. Always hard to tell in my videos, but I did not add that sound. Did he just let one rip? What kind of channel do you think this is, sir? Here we meet the first really tough enemy. Well, I thought they were orcs, but in fact are high priestesses. Half women, half demon. Very agile and poisons you. And it ramps up, as you can see here. Never goes away. Very old school poison D&D rules here. And you don't get a ton of antidotes. I'll risk a poison save. Hopefully this works out. Seriously? Even on a reload. Always tempted to moan about the cheap deaths, but it's literally in the name of the game. I'll still do it. So this far in you can tell there's no story. We get these lovely bits of text between the maps, setting up what's ahead, and that's the game. Get through a section, then experience it again with a fresh coat of paint and some new stand-ins. Like a literal clown car. New zombies, more snake ladies, and it has been too long. On the iconic front cover, so I knew they were going to show up at some point. These bony boys are glorious. All the enemies have great animations, both in combat and out of it. And they even gift us a silver sword. Incredibly strong versus the undead. So after that, what is the final boss of this early gauntlet? Oh yeah. We enter the first Labyrinth section. Loving the little blue imps with their knife and fork in edgy boy designer wear. I cannot state how good the monster selection in this game is. One of the best I've ever covered, maybe even played full stop. Right up there with Warlord's battle cry. Occasionally you get a glorious sweep of gory death against them with our attack. There's no denying the combat is very clunky, but it has its moments. Can I ring that bell with a jump? Do I need to? I think I did earlier. Oh, this was dumb. Or not. Minotaur, I'm guessing. Gonna be honest, thought you'd be bigger. Up top, floating in a not quite figured out puzzle, is a gun. That's a gun, right? This game throws some curveballs. In fact, a blunderbuss. It's so awkward to use because of those controls. I have to wiggle the mouse while holding a direction. First person is the same deal. Hold tab to view and wiggle the attack. Weirdly, spells in first person are fine. Just press attack, no wiggling. Lifts, switches, secret areas, lots of falling down. Into the quarry now. Oh, no, wrong quarry. What will we find down here in the darkened mines? Rock boys.
I am the smashing machine.
They will chase you around the endless tunnels, do spinning rolls to squelch Lotus. All of our weapons just boink off them. Sure hope we get an upgrade soon. It worked last time I said that. So how about our first real platforming? It's like Tomb Raider, but not quite as precise. Maybe simpler and faster, and thankfully a lot less of it. Kinda like Heretic 2, in fact. Same year and everything as well. Again, showcasing that delay on graphics. Pop in is a little frightening when every misstep is death. Oh, did I just loop around? Honestly, could be the tagline of the game. Look at that big old boulder booty. Attention to derrieres was certainly an artistic point in Deathtrap Dungeon. Of course Red Lotus is rocking that big old diaper bottom. Chain Dog too. How do we deal with them though? Well, with this.
Don't mind if I do.
The magic warhammer might be my favorite weapon. I fear nothing.
No, please. Machine, we be friends. Check this out.
Pretty cool. Yep, that's why you save. My warhammer is used up. We run. Run, 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 run. Switches you can constantly switch in games. No thank you. I have the memory of a goldfish. One time only, please. I have no idea what I've done. Into the pit next, where we are greeted by... Electra? And... nice hair. Thank you. All priestess types around, our favorite poisoning type as well. Everyone moves very fast in this section, tons of combat. Yeah, get your own lift. Oh, that was quick. Or, this one has several stages.
G'day mate, how's that dungeon going for you?
It's so silly looking, but the gore is incredibly fun in this game.
G'day mate, how's...
Oh, why did I jump into this? I still don't get the bells. I've seen them ring. I thought it was a progression necessary thing. Speaking of sounds, the score just never played for me. I think it played maybe once or twice, but mostly cuts off. Here is some of it. It's not bad at all, a little generic at times, some really nice eerie atmospheric stuff. It's harder to review it here when I didn't experience it the way it intended. I do love the aesthetics of this game, the creepy caverns, stone crypts and keeps. Hits all the fantasy marks and so much variance. And it's gonna keep changing and surprising too, no shortage of imagination. I do hate the poisons though, the priestesses, ugh. And you as well, does everything poison? Not me. An undead scythe-wielding ghost. Huh. Immune to our basic sword, cool. I really should save that silver sword for these times. Fuck-a-doodle. Still in the pit, getting all kinds of hectic. Ugh, you again? Let's keep our height advantage as we scout the new surroundings. No, 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 no. Oh, oh. Just do it. Nom, 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 nom. Huh? I'm guessing the portcullis killed him. Oh god. 2 of them? That's even more than Turok. And we need to kill them to proceed through the purple door shield.
When we get back, I am giving you a raise.
Look at those delightful little victory stumps. Fighting is no good. I tried defense and some potions, but I just die here too quick. So let's use that trap part of the title to our benefit. How shall this section treat us? Pause if you're gonna write notes. Come on, man. Armored units everywhere now. We fight on the bridges. Oh. It was getting a bit much up there. I kind of just panicked. Great section though. Loving the castle keep type settings here in the belfry. What is a belfry? Structuring closing the bells. Makes sense. Is that how you pronounce? Yeah.
Belfry.
Not too bad. Died a lot, but once I got going, I sped through it. Ooh. Polygon guillotine. Red Knights, Shepherd's Delight. They all die surprisingly quick considering they have their armor. Die by the Sword came out the exact same year as this, and the difference in fighting is night and day. The most intricate controlled combat to swing your mouse as much as you can while holding buttons that move you awkwardly. What was that? You guys seem fine. Holy moly, that fall must have been particularly bad. I exploded. At least I get to go back and see what those piggies were up to.
How about you?
I am hearing something. What is that? And I will never ever see it again. That is the end of the cozy courtyards and castle settings though, sadly. As we breach the hive. Swarming with insect warriors, the wasps of course poison you. Whoa, we have flamethrowers? Okay, well, looks amazing, slight issue though. Controls obviously like before, and I can't get it to constantly spew out fire. Just little bursts, little... That said, you could easily be looking at a survival horror now. Blunderbuss all day. So the controls are ass, but the shooting is no joke, very fun. Redhead in dark leather wielding large weapons, sometimes dinosaurs. Definitely a resemblance of Regina at times.
Get out of my house!
The hive section is not the most pleasant on the eyes. Definitely feels like you're inside a pulsating alien nest. Just keep going deeper and deeper. Not a big fan of too much creepy crawlies. We had the spiders earlier, but we are done with all that smelly infestation. Instead, let's go... I just figured out that red bar. It's our speed to time those beautiful acrobatic spins for long jumping. Ever the slow learner and adapter. I need to use more of those spells as well. Let me just... Get... Uh-oh. Alright, lightning spell, here we go. Whoa! Medusa adorns most walls suddenly in the sewers, and now we have entered her halls. Busty snake, cool, but this is another mazy section. Was that the Medusa? Oh well, it's opened up the end. Enough sewers, as now it's trench warfare. Ratmen were teased to us before. Now rat ogres even. Right out the gate, armored ratmen. This is some primo red wall aesthetics. Maybe my favorite section. Oh my god, they have cannons. And guns. And mines. So much variance, mortar cannon wielders. And check out this enormous rat. we are all thinking it, can I use the mortar? You bet your ass you can. As awkward as you would imagine, but super powerful. Sadly, our rat time has ended. Not a long stage. Or not. Well, this could be Resident Evil, right? And it works surprisingly well. Narrow bridge with these controls, let's take it nice and easy. Okay, maybe we speed up a little bit. Not a fan of the inversion section here. Not bad to look at all, just too much back and forth, narrow bridges to fall off, very samey. So instead we get on a turtle. I meant what I said. What do I... Alright. Deathtrap Dungeon is certainly trying stuff, even late in the game, I'll give it that. So he just always does that.
It's 11.
Bullshit! Ugh. And I thought Mario 64 controls were awkward. Oof. It was foretold the dungeon would end with a dragon, but did we know it would be 4 dragons? Only one way to go, and mercifully the game gives us saves before each fight. Alright, well I'm guessing that's the dragon. Let's use some of those items on the blood beast here, just pop everything. Fantastic design, by the way, my favorite of the dragons. Strength potion for the win, have I mentioned it? If you saw me glow red, I was using it. A quick ank afterwards for a buff in health and 1 down. Before we even get to the next dragon, come on game, no more poison ladies, I'm flying through supplies here. Huh, a rocket launcher. Second up is the Hydra, honestly very easy. Big Naxxramas vibes here. And a flying one this time. We get some cannons, alright. Impossible to hit anything with, as he spews mines around while flying out of reach. Close up. Pretty tough as well. All around, tough. Finally, now give me that sword that taunted me the entire fight. Oh, it growls when you take it out. At least I think that's the sword. The final red dragon awaits. Melkor, wait.
I am the one. I was the first. I shall be the last.
The largest and reddest of the dragons, circling the area menacingly. More deaths than ever, not even to the dragon, just traps along the way. Can it be true? The great sword of Gazuk, mentioned in the scripture and thought lost to time. Oh. Would you drop down? Please? And I thought your purple brother farted about in the sky enough. Lots of retries, rocket him down from the sky. Maybe. Honestly, I'm fairly certain anything non-magical does nothing. Red sword up close, until finally we best the beast. Yeah. And credits. Credits have crashed. I'm not doing that again, so let's grab those credits. Oh, we missed a cinematic. On that face, let's get the hell out of here into the review section. Livingstone said that depending on the success of this game, a sequel titled City of Thieves would follow. That didn't happen, so what did? Overall, Deathtrap Dungeon took me at least 8 hours. Some sections I flew through, others if I knew the way I could fly through them, but you know, I don't exactly have the best sense of direction. I can't get a ton of information on sales figures, but maybe some of the critical reception might have something to do with why the series stopped at 1. Metacritic? Okay then, nah. Let's stick to magazines and Wikipedia. Game Rankings has an aggregated score of 64 on PC and 54 on PlayStation. Okay, let's get some choice words from critics. Overly simplistic puzzles, weak enemy designs. Whoa, wait. What? Electronic Gaming Monthly, did you play a different game? The camera is vomit-inducing. The greater focus on action is an improvement over Tomb Raider. Just like Blasto. Oh, that game. You can see that it so nearly is something that could have been great. Awkward fighting, sure. You know what, I'm not getting past that enemy design comment. Ugh. So let's do the good and the bad. The good. The enemy designs. Yeah. Just the sheer variety. Ratmen, boulder boys, priestesses. I didn't show you everything. Hell, I might not have seen everything. An incredible amount and great unique designs. Very solid weapon selection, tons of spells, firearms and swords and hammers to wield. My favorites would be the magic warhammer and the blunderbuss. Lightning spell rips too. Love those varied worlds, well, stages you get to. You literally never know what's around any corner. Trench section, sewers, castles, and the classic fantasy stuff as well. The gore. Okay, it's tied to the janky combat and it's hard to pull off exactly what you want. Pun intended. But each fight usually ends up with a satisfying squishy mess. The bad. The fidelity and awkward polygon work doesn't bother me. It's definitely older looking than its release date shows. But the awkward pop-ins and loading does mean you die a lot more than you need to. The controls. Probably the biggest issue. Tank controls aren't too big a deal, but the fighting is just a mess of holding buttons and swinging the mouse around. Made some weapons for me become all but useless. Those comments are going to be fun to read. Getting lost in the maze-like levels is kind of the point. In fact, let's bring in the instant deaths to traps as well. This was intended, it's even in the title. But when you have to repeat tons of progress because you chose the left lift instead of the right hand one, it's a little frustrating. Tied to that, the save system is just old and shite. Let's be honest. Give me quick saves. Did I mention this is my first time ever playing the game? I definitely have nostalgia tied to that cover because it's one of the greatest of all time. But now that I've finally played it, was it worth the wait? Yes. I mostly had a blast going through this game. It's so of its time, which will 100% put people off. It's a 1998 game that looks like 1995 and follows gaming rules far older than that. This might explain why I kinda got lost in time while the gaming world accelerated ahead of it. Nowadays, compared to the complexity of modern action games, it's almost a breath of fresh air. If this were to get the same remaster treatment that the Tomb Raider franchise received recently, not only would that be a day one purchase, but I'd happily just make another video about it and compare. Tighten or fix those controls in a fresh coat of paint, this game could even go down as something of a classic. It's so nearly brilliant. It just has bucket loads of imagination, maybe too much for what actually could be developed at the time. If you are at all interested, go for it. Don't go in expecting Dark Souls outside of maybe just the punishing difficulty. Think of it more as fantasy Tomb Raider in her awkward, dorky years. Thank you all for watching the video. Big shout out to those channel members, as well as anyone who supported me on Ko-Fi. Goes a long way on a little channel trying to grow. If you enjoyed the video, I mean, if you made it this far, you can't have hated it, right? Hate watching is a thing, I guess. Liking, commenting, and sharing is stuff YouTube algorithm loves. Did you play this game back in the day? What are your thoughts on Deathtrap Dungeon? I love reading all the comments and I try to reply as much as I can. Anywho, hope everyone is doing well. Weekly videos, so tune in next week to see what I'm covering. Never know what it'll be. I'm Mr. Macheen, and I'll see you then.